So it's in the garage. Just getting everything prepared for the high build in the morning. Just cleaning up, last little touches. Got a comment on my epoxy video. Just put it out, and comment was from Elko Warren saying he had me playing in the garage while he was working on his firewall. Check that out.
Much needed motivation to get it cracking on this firewall, y'all. Let's go.
Appreciate the shout out, man. I even took the plastic off the TV just to cut it on. But just let me finish up these last little touches, clean it up a little bit, and it should be ready for high build primer in the morning. Alright, so pretty much ready for some high build primer. Picked up the primer and the paint today, so it will be on within a week or two. I'm still debating how I want to paint the nose and the bumper, if I want to do it all at the same time, just like put the front bumper, or the nose up here, mask off behind it. Do the same thing with the rear bumper, or just paint them separately. Get all the major body parts painted, put back on, then paint the nose and the rear bumper. But I also have to get some fiberglass resin and some filler and remake that part. Just noticed that. I probably noticed it before, just didn't think about it. But it looks like somebody already tried to doctor it up once before. There's a crack in there, so pretty sure that was in pretty rough condition before. But I'm not going to spray tomorrow. Still waiting for a primer gun to come in. It's a high build primer, so thought I was going to do it with the Harbor Freight purple gun. But like I said, I had the parts from that gun in a mixing cup, and I don't know what happened to the mixing cup, so that gun pretty much just going to use it for the regulator and the air separator, or the water separator or filter. But just waiting for a gun with the 2.0 tip to come in, and then I'll do the high build. So it should be here tomorrow, and then since it'll probably be here towards the end of the day, so I'm not planning on spraying tomorrow. I'll repair that, and then I'll see how much work these need, the nose and the rear bumper need, and if I could figure out a good spot to have them. I'll try to spray them all at the same time. Probably could just lay it across here, or like I said, just mock them up where they need to go. Yeah, just coming along. Everything's pretty much moved out, much as I could get it. Stopped to hit this. I think I added one more layer there, so sand that down a little bit. But for the most part, everything's sanded down. And I did go down to bare metal on some parts, just using the wrong door block. So, but that's alright. The primer, the high build I have is a direct to metal, so it'll be okay. Yeah, but it's enough talking. Let's come out tomorrow, repair these, sand that rocker down and that piece on the fender, And then I think Sunday I'll come out and actually spray it. Look at that view. But it's enough of me talking. Put this down and catch you guys on tomorrow. Alright, so finally pulled the front nose off, or pulled the front nose and the bumper out of the garage. And let's see. Wow, just noticed these holes. So I have to fill these. Probably fill in that little crack right there. So the bumpers, I wasn't sure if I was going to try to paint them all at the same time or not, which I'm going to try. So I really need to knock these out pretty quick. And then try to knock this out also. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. It's finally cooled down a little bit. But I might have to go through a little bit of fiberglass filler in there one more time. That's the other side. This hole's already patched in. I don't know what happened. This side. Well, looks like that bottom one. Somebody attempted to patch that in. But I just noticed those, so I'm gonna have to get these knocked out. As far as the nose, we'll go through with the sander. I just have, I think, about 400 grit on there. Using that somewhat of a low to medium speed. I'm gonna go over the whole nose, try to even out areas like where the paint has been chipping, and then where there's cracks. Yeah, it's a little bit better where there's cracks in there. Try to feather all that stuff out. I know it's plastic, so don't want to work it too much and have to do more repairs than are necessary. You know what? For that, nah, I'm gonna do the fiberglass. I was thinking I had the plastic welder, and I was like, might just do no. I'm gonna do the fiberglass filler. Same thing with the license plate mounts. I know we're supposed to have a front plate, but I'm gonna fill these in. If I need to drill them out down the line, I will. But for the most part, once I get it plated, I'll just throw the plates inside the windshield, call it good for a while. But yeah, just gonna go over all this with the 400, try to even it all out. Besides filling those holes, I don't see anything too major. Alright, so I just came to the conclusion that the bumper and the taillight bezels, or the rear bumper and the taillight bezels, it's gonna get painted sometime else. Just started coming down, raining pretty hard, and it's hot in the garage. So I do have the nose all sanded down, ready for 2K primer. Like I said, found this block. I sanded all these down, started them by hand with just some sandpaper. It's like, there's gotta be a better way. I'm not about to sand 48 little squares all by hand. Found this little block, so it fit in there pretty good, just enough to scuff everything up. But yeah, I think with the holes in the bumper, might get everything wiped down. Just put a little bit of fiberglass filler on that. Really want to do everything at the same time, but man, it's hot in here. Might come out later tonight once it cools down a little bit and mess around with some fiberglass filler. Excuse the car alarm, but it's the first time I actually emptied out the trunk, so it was kind of weird to me. But I used to have like the wiring harness, all these broken tail lights, windshield wiper reservoir, the drive shaft. Used to have all that just sitting back here, but I finally emptied it out because I was debating on spraying the inside with the primer and the color match. But what I think I'm gonna do is what I did up underneath. So eventually I'll clean all this up, vacuum it out, wipe it down, sand it, and I'll hit it with that the enamel. So hit it with that Rust-Oleum enamel. Just pretty much brush all that on. Might spray the sides depending on how it wants to run or whatnot. But figured I'd do it that way because eventually all this will be sound deadening. And I still don't know what I'm gonna do with the trunk yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. Alright, so it's pushing midnight. It's pretty much midnight. But just getting those final pieces in, getting the bumper ready, getting everything else positioned. So for the most part, it's where it's supposed to be. Come back in the morning, wipe everything down, tack cloth it. You know, the last minute fiberglass repair. Decided to do it, so give this some time to dry. So by the time I come out in the morning, this should be good. This should be good. And go back through some Bondo glass, patch these in, sand this down, smooth it out with some Bondo glass. Put some Bondo glass on this in the morning, and we'll call it a day. Like I said, it's about midnight, so that's it. We'll call it a night. In the morning, we'll do some primer. Alright, so it's time for some high build primer. It's got this little cheap gun with the 2.0 tip off Amazon. So just a primer gun. Hopefully it does alright for the primer. Definitely not painting with it, but we'll see how that goes. I'll just mix up a little bit of primer at first, see how it's spraying. If it's doing good, I'll mix up more. If not, I'll just have to call it quits and get another gun. And I did realize that I know a lot of people spray with the Harbor Freight purple gun. That's a 1.4 tip, so wanted to do it right. So I got a 2.0. I think the primer says anywhere from like a 1.7 to 2.0 or something like that. So just 1.7 to 2.0. So just wanted to do it right. So everything's sanded down, all the body fillers smoothed out, feathered out. So next thing to do, I'm gonna give it one more wipe down. Couldn't find my tack rag, so I already wiped it down. I already blew everything out of the garage, wiped it down. I'm gonna give it one more wipe down, and then I'm gonna start mixing up some primer.